Hey, you're not Kate Bates. Would it hurt your feelings if I said I was, really disappointed? Yeah. Yeah, right, we love Kate. She'll be back, don't worry. Now you get a low-grade, watered-down version of what was gonna be Kate Bates. I'm totally I'm totally kidding. But yes, so Nathan, we've obviously had a big day. So thanks a lot. I want to be honest with everyone. This was classic Nathan Guerra. It would have been so easy to pull the pin with Kate, not able to make the broadcast tonight. But Nathan absolutely wanted to soldier on. So he shifts gears and is going to produce and announce as well. So always appreciate you, Nathan, for going above and beyond. That being said, these teams are going to have a challenging course today. 29.7. Actually, Martin told me it was 29 kilometers, 775 meters. Exactly. So that's a court distance. Yeah, yeah. Yep. I think I was talking about, like, someplace you saw it listed at 30K, and I then said it well, to be exact, they said, "Well, you want exact? Well, here's exact." And always a big thank you to WTRL and, Martin and Steven and what they do. Amazing. Love you guys, and they're a big part of the community ZRL races we have. 5th week of racing, just some, taking care of some business. I guess you're probably gonna, queue up Cy, but, no power-ups today. We can skip it maybe. Yeah. So no po I'll do Cy. No power-ups, mate. Yeah. Yeah. I certainly condensed it. I certainly condensed it. Hey, by the way, Cy Bradley, we love you and keep up the good work there. I always watch your videos. I learn a lot, and your work is noticed in the community for sure. So thanks. But we've seen that video about 20 times already today because we've been broadcasting around the globe. So there's Oh, sorry, Nathan. I was just noticing on the Cadence team, who we're still with, that's going to be Tracy Moore that you're with. Megan Holtham on this team, but we know Laura Thompson quite well. She's a super rider. I think this might be the best last name that we have in Zwift community right in front of me. The Canadian rider D Makepeace. That's certainly a beautiful name, Indigenous people's name, I would have to think. My dad had a great friend growing up named Steve Many Deeds. He was a Native American from Minnesota, and those names are certainly very cool. So that's the Cadence team that we're talking about, and D is right in the mix. So we're looking at them coming over they'll come back over this climb going the other direction a little bit later in the race. They're at the 29.7K that makes up this Watopia figure eight reverse loop. But that's the pivotal moment there. It happens again, though. Both ways up the climb are serious. Not too much difference between the two. Uh, Basically, at the end of the day, the output's going to be about the same. But Caden's out here, a third of the way into their race today, and the first split's coming in, and a strong start from ATP Racing Vespid, Nathan, as they're actually getting out quicker than Dutch Diesel, which says a lot. Very strong team, Dutch Diesel Zenna. Cadence, who we're with here, just 4 seconds behind DDCX, waiting for West Coast Coalition, NZ Bro, and Team F3 FBW to post their time. So I'm glad that we are able to cover the Americas West. There's a lot of great athletes out in the far West, our final time zone that we cover each week. Again, week 5 of racing, the second team time trial. And that's how the season stands. With only 6 teams, yeah, they could tie this puppy up or even better here. I mean, obviously early going, right? But if we stopped the race right now, they'd be moving into first on points. We have 20K to go. Right. Yeah, spirited. Wow. That's how good they are. So, Hannah Stallcamp, Joe Connolly, are you kidding me? This is a straight up hitter team. Nats McLean, Rachel Winchester, Sarah Abernathy. It's monster after monster with Allison Grinnell in this. This is a team that is on a mission in transition coming through. Now, Nathan, watch out for ATP Racing Vespid in the big picture. They are flying today. Next check at 16K. That's the middle part of the course. But hot knife through. Oh, we haven't seen a pass like. Yeah, they were the. But so what's also interesting is that yes, sir. Dutch Diesel Cycling, Nathan, is actually faster than Cadence right now as well, but it's very close there. But if you are ATP Racing Vespid, you're not only having an awesome day and looking really good, you're hoping that Dutch Diesel ends up, like you could find an extra point there if you taking a look now. This is Dutch Diesel, so this very familiar orange jersey Dutch Diesel, a coaching service. That's Gail Matherly that we've got just finishing up her pull as they look strong, no doubt. Dutch Diesel now 4 seconds faster, but this will update in a few minutes here. We'll have a look at what's happening at the middle part of the race. They've got one more trip up the climb. Having 5 together at this point is a good sign, though, for your team. Let's take a look at who Dutch Diesel has today. Excuse me, D- Diane Mitchell Prey, Daniela Torelli, I mentioned Gail Matherly, Jack Cat, Sarah Northway are the 5 that we've got today, flying the blue and orange of Dutch Diesel. Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely right. Yeah, so big picture here. This could tighten up to the point where we even have something very close to a three-way tie heading into the final race of the regular season. We do have 2 finale races, so it'll end up being, for all intents and purposes, an 8-race season. But this is WCC that we've found here now. Brittany Keskinen, Jesse Taylor Lewis, Linda McHugh, and I believe that Susan Ryben. Let me check myself there, but those are the riders that LeBlond, the rider that I'm missing there. So, or one of the riders I'm missing here on that WCC team. We saw socks. Sorry, we saw socks for Watts, Nathan, make up a lot of time in the back half after a tough start out here. Let's see if F3 can do the same. Sorry there. Sure. Or they've never been to their garage. Yeah. Yeah. No, they have. They had to have been to their garage. I was kind of kidding there, but we can tell. So, 2 points here, Nathan. To go back to what you were saying, if you threw ATP Racing Vespid out of the mix here, there's barely 24 seconds separating all the other teams out here. So you're exactly right. ATP Racing Vespid, much like Riot in the America's East, just that one notch better than everyone else in their league. So, or today, in this case, Riot has actually been doing that now for 6 straight seasons over in America's East. But it is very, very competitive. I mean, Team F3 is still in the hunt for they could win the silver medal out here. Asking them to beat Racing Vespid, that's a huge ask. But, they're not out of this thing at all. And that's the team that we're in with right now. Reibenboim is the rider that we've got as our feature. So I guess it would be appropriate to take a look and see what level we're talking about. Because this is always fun when you see, well, obviously the real indicators, the rest of her teammates are on Tron bikes, where she's on a Zwift intro bike, an entry level bike here. So that doesn't take a whole ton of intuition. Oh, well, Nathan, one, she's 60 plus as listed. So that's one huge respect right off the bat. Level 21 Zwifter. And you know more about this than me, but this might be her second race as far as I can tell. So huge, huge amount of respect here. I'm incredibly impressed, actually, because this is a super high level of racing. Am I right on that? Is that 2 races that she's done, Nathan?
Yeah,
Or am
two
I?
races. Yep, that's going to be
Yeah.
two
So
races that have been done here.
that's incredible to be racing here with this on this bike. You're a legend,
Jumping across
Susan
here. Yeah, so
Ribenboim
that's
is a
going to
name we'll
be
remember.
each and every one of the teams that we do have out here right now for the women's B category for the West. Very close racing across the board, as I was saying earlier. Amazing what ATP Racing, though, are doing here, really walking away with this one, showing that they have so much experience in the team time trial. Cadence, as you can see, maybe fading backwards in the overalls. They're going to have to really defend. Just losing to ATP is one thing, but losing to any more teams down the row here is going to really upset their lead, and it won't be a tie. It'll be maybe ATP taking over first, maybe even going further down the leaderboard. Dutch Diesel can really get the better of this day. We'll see how these times come on through, as ATP almost have a minute at this point at the next checkpoint. Now, let's go ahead and jump across over to the men and take a look and see how things are playing out, because OMG are out on course here. They are the current leaders. Oh my God, they killed Kenny of this America's West. And if we take a look at the standings here right now, they have undefeated on the Rivet Haze, chasing them best as they possibly can. 10:36, 10:48. TFC Scorpions are the next to come through. We'll see what their time is at that 8 kilometer marker. On the downhill here, Dave, the Super Tuck seems to be what they're up to. Getting up to 75 kilometers per hour, I think, plus at one point.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah, weren't you using 74 as your a marker of if you can get there, you're doing well? So
Yeah, around there.
75,
Yeah, they were
right?
flying, absolutely flying. I want to start. I
'Cause
want
it's
to take a look also at what kind of times they're doing comparatively to PO Auto, because they kind of are the benchmark, I think.
Boy, so I would agree with that 100%. Pio Auto have been absolutely amazing. They set a blisteringly fast time earlier. Let's give a shout out to this team has really been impressive. When we first started covering them, I thought, it seems like a bunch of good guys that are having fun with this, but they clearly have taken this very seriously. So here's the roll call for OMG. Travis Frazier, clearly star on this team. Peter Mogg seems to be the glue. Michael Grenier, Jacob Wolford, Eric Flanders, Dan Pedroza, and BB. This team has really cracked the code on camaraderie, and they motivate each other to another level. So they've got the fastest time, but On the Rivet Hayes have been worthy adversaries, and I want to see who they brought to the mix here today. So there's two OTR teams here, Blaze and Hayes. So they even rhyme. So I'm going to be talking about Hayes the best I can here, and I believe that that's going to be Duncan Johnson. I might misplace a rider or two here, but Alex Hemke, Brian Bishop, more of the OTA. So Dawes is a Hayes rider, Bird is a Hayes rider, Pletcher Hayes. I mentioned Hemke, Schaefer on Hayes, and that's going to be the main adversaries there. You can see. Oh, thanks, Nathan. I was looking at a different list there, but that's PO Auto split. Are they actually faster? So,
Yeah.
are you as
Yeah.
stunned as I am? I'm obviously picking up on the data that you're laying down. That's really something, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
That's amazing.
insanely
Good for
next
them.
level. So,
Yeah,
um,
and it puts a whole new spotlight on, oh my God, they killed Kenny because this team I thought was
yeah,
really,
they've been
really
hanging
good.
out with somebody who I don't know. They've kind of been hanging out with someone who's
Ooh,
been
Eddie
talking to
Merckx.
them.
Eddie Merckx.
We'll just leave that. Look at the formation of this team. Look at this team. I mean, they are really.
Have you been coaching these guys, Nathan?
Yes, I literally have been coaching them.
Yeah, well, it shows. It like look at this. I mean, they clearly have got the message that they've been very close to cracking the code. They're turning into one of the best teams
I
on
definitely
planet Earth
cracked the.
right
Here's
now.
the thing, though. Here's the thing about OMG is I come in there and I go, look, guys, I'm not gonna pull any punches, and I'm gonna tell you where I think something's wrong, and you cannot get your feelings hurt. Like I just straight up been like, and if you can take it or leave it, but I'm gonna tell you what I think you're doing wring in the heat of battle too. I'm gonna
See how
yell at you in the middle of it, like
they're just
and
like
call you out.
wow. I mean, they literally are Pio Auto has got to be shaking their heads right now. They're watching basically what they do being done a little bit better. And I don't think anybody thought it could be done better. This is a stunning breakthrough ZRL moment. Uh, this is historic. I am so glad that we're covering this today. Um, Great job. Can they go on to win this race? Clearly, they're motivated. They went out very hard. This second check, Nathan, because that will include. I'm looking at the parcours here. They really, when you see that 8K check, they've only done a part of the climbing in that first batch. It comes at you in two waves, going over reverse hilly KOM, and then you come back over the same climb going the other direction. Both times are brutal. The second split tells us more. That well, obviously, third split will even tell you more than that, won't it, Dave? But 16K in, we're going to find out what they can do managing one of the climbs. The two climbs are very similar. Basically, they're I mean, they're not exactly the same, but if you can do one, you can do the other. So, all right, here we go, Nathan. This is going to be again OMG Ryder Flanders, and when you look at the men out here, this team has gotten stronger partly because of OTR Hayes, to tell you the truth. As much like Velocio and Next make each other better, these two teams have made each other as well. Pete Mogg has been awesome to watch. He brings a lot. I always forget that this kit is the Yenzi Fondo kit. I don't believe that Fondo still exists, actually. It's just up there. The Levi's Fondo hitting their 11th year. Just unbelievable what they've got going. This one was down a little closer to San Fran, down in Marin. And I know people loved it. It's
Waiting
got
for
its own
some more
kit.
times to come on through. As now the takeover from Grenier, as Mog is going to go directly to the back, as you can see, and slot right on in. No disruption from him. You see him do a little bit of a punch here to get by make sure he jumps on the Flanders wheel. The speed,
He's
the
on Twitch.
differentiation. Yeah, he is. Yeah, Mog does stream on Twitch as well. Flanders does struggle with roll throughs as well as Frazier. I can tell you a lot about this team actually. Like I've
You are
experienced
embedded.
I've
Yes.
experienced their struggles. I have. I've struggled, and then Boniface. What he'll want to do is once in a while he'll try and close the gap for the teammate rather than trust the wheel that he's on because he feels that there needs to be this gap closing thing going on. And so I end up yelling at him and whatever. Like we get this like whole tension going on.
You
about
scream
who
at
should
him. Do you
what.
say, "Do your job"?
No,
Do your
well,
job.
he's yelling at other people to do their job, and I'm like, well, make sure you
You're
trust this
yelling at him.
wheel.
Oh,
and
you're yelling at
everybody-
him. Stay in your lane, and he's
Yeah.
saying, "Do your job." And it's like
Well,
that
see the
meme
gap.
with the
See,
blonde
here's the
woman and
gap.
the cat.
Look at the gap.
Yeah.
You see the gap that formed right there, and now Frazier has to close
Look how
it down.
quickly they fixed
Now
it.
watch how Frazier will roll through though. And then he pushes Boniface off the wheel. This is their common mistake right here. We're analyzing it live. Dave comes on, or Dan came through too strong, bumps Boniface off because of these little jumps. And now there's a blob back here rather than a straight line. So they got to figure that one out a little bit here. But I mean, it's nothing
So we're
serious.
nitpicking?
It's a really,
Yeah,
it's no, but
exactly.
it's serious though because you know what
No,
happens.
it's how you get faster. No, I'm with you, but I mean, this is.
Do you know how much
nearly
energy
perfect,
is
right?
wasted? Do you know how much energy is wasted right there, though? That didn't have to be wasted. That's the main point, is like the frustration within the team because of how much energy you expend getting everybody back in line and then closing those gaps. It's massive. And that's how people end up getting dropped because now you have to adjust. And one thing that we actually were working on within the team is adjustments by the DS on the fly. That when you see people closing gaps unnecessarily, like Grenier here, you make sure he takes a 10-second pull instead of a 30-second pull when it's his turn. Right? Like those kind of adjustments by a DS are the micro adjustments that can make the complete difference for the whole team. Anyways, I know I'm going deep in the weeds, but I figured it'd be a little bit of a moment to explain what some of the stuff that can happen within a TTT struggle within a team, at least knowing the dynamics.
All that said, on the rivet, Hayes is only 12 seconds behind at split number 1 there. So it's going to be interesting. Does that gap even go down, to tell you the truth? And this is Schaefer.
And
with
that's the funny thing. I've
OTR.
raced with both these teams. I've raced with Hayes as well as OMG and have been a part of both of their rises to the top, actually, of this zone. Because this is the same time that they race in for the TTT in WTRL on Thursdays, and so that's why I was jumping in with these guys. And Hayes is also someone that I've competed for top 10s in the WTRL before. So they also have Fletcher as well as Schaefer. I know them pretty well. Duncan as well. The other two I haven't maybe raced with Bird once before, and Dawes maybe once, but I know the other three pretty well.
John Bird is the Bird that we're talking about. There's a couple of gentlemen named Bird that have raced at a high level out here, Bruce Bird being the other, but John is the rider on this team. And John is also Canadian up there. I wonder if there's any relation. Certainly there's plenty of folks. Well, you know what else is interesting, Nathan? He's an 86-kilo guy. Which, if Bruce Bird is also a rider around. So just because you're similar in weight,
it doesn't mean that they're related. Oh my
Right,
God. They gotta be related. They weigh the same.
I'm just saying, got named Bird, Canadians, big dudes. There's 3 clues, but this is why in a court of law you can't have you need a little more evidence.
You don't have Dave Towle as your
case,
lawyer.
right?
You don't have Dave Towle as your lawyer.
Yes. Hey, he's a big guy, but obviously,
I
these
can just
two
see
teams
you making your final, like, what do they call it when you make your final whatever to the whole court, to the jury? I can't remember what they call it, deposition or whatever. And here you go. He's a big guy. He's weighs the same. The last name is Canadian. They got to be related.
So I guess really okay, good. Here we go. Some data. So Nathan, I know that you're the producer, but you already have gotten me into comparing this to Pio Auto. So maybe we get a few more times in, but I love to see what Pio Auto had at 16. Oh, thank you. Wow, they're riding away from that time. So Nathan, they're putting splits up that are now getting faster and faster out here, not fading at all. So right now, actually, on the rivet, Hayes would be only 3 seconds behind Pio Auto, who I thought were untouchable. It is a full Yes, full 17 seconds faster at the midpoint, actually a little past the midpoint of
And
this race.
OTR are
We're
tied.
watching a his
OTR are tied with them with PO Auto.
they just
OTR are putting
updated
down a
it?
PO Auto. Yeah, they're putting on an OTR and PO Auto are on. No, excuse me, not tied. They're almost.
It's
It's
3
3
seconds.
seconds slower. Yeah, 3 seconds
Eh,
slower. They're tied with
virtually
Toyota. So
virtually tied. I mean, that's
yeah.
so close. But, what oh my god, they killed Kenny is doing is going to send shockwaves around the esports world.
Well, there's a reason why over the top of Box Hill, I thought I was going to die the other day. I literally was like, I haven't popped in a race in like in a
Seriously.
TTT in over a year, I think, and they almost popped me. I thought literally, I was like, guys, slow down. I can't hold on. They had to slow down for me a little bit. I think like they would have went faster. Like it
So
was insane the pace that they were holding.
they're the new Next or Velocio, these teams that come out of the community, catch a vibe, have an energy, and then just blow my mind. The funny thing, it's so hard initially because Kate Bates and we have so much fun, Nathan. You know, at the end of the day, shows have always been a blast. I always feel they're a little bit looser. And this team, I mean, the obvious reference to South Park with the OMG they killed Kenny name. I didn't take these guys all, super seriously as if they were like Triple X Racing or, Speed Demons or something. You know what I mean? This name made me think that they were just kind of in it for the laugh.
Jokers. Well, Dan
Jokers.
Pedrosa. I
Well,
mean, he's like the
he's a
guy.
total stud. Yeah, I've met him. You know that. Yeah, we gave you a shout. But Dan Pedrosa is a really, really cool guy. He's a small business owner. His partner Danny, his wife Danny, is a really amazing person. They rescue pit bulls. So just like Christina Grossman in
It
America
sounded, you
East,
said rescue. They rescue. They don't wrestle pit bulls.
they don't
They
wrestle. Did
rescue.
I say
Well, they might
wrestle?
wrestle.
Oh
They
my
might
gosh!
wrestle them too. They might be
Every now and
wrestling
then I
them because
wonder
they
what my
wrestle.
brain is doing. He probably does wrestle them, because he's a pretty
Dan
hands-on guy.
Pedrosa
If they
wrestles pit bulls. That's what.
like he's like the guy who boxes kangaroos. That would be a Kate thing, or wrestles bears. He wrestles pit bulls. No, these are
Oh my
loving
god.
pit bulls are the
He
best, right?
literally wrestles
And
pit bulls. Yeah, but that's a better like
for
tagline.
exercise,
Dan
for
Pedrosa
exercise,
wrestles pit bulls underneath his name.
a known pit bull wrestler in Austin, Texas, Dan Pedrosa. No, so Dan is a huge. He's a lover of pit bulls and probably has helped find. I mean, I've watched him on Instagram find homes for dozens of dogs. So this is Brian Diddy. Without a doubt, we've talked a ton about OMG, the Kilkenny, and On the Rivet Hayes. Brian Diddy's this biggest star to come out of esports racing in my mind this season. This guy is a stone cold killer, awesome personality. But Nathan, what a finisher he is. He's so fast, the algorithms have to catch up to his sprints. Ask Pedrosa about that.
Yeah, and I think this might be where they struggle a little bit in comparison as we jump over to the ladies. But we'll get back to Diddy and TFC in just a moment. Definitely want to catch the end of the ladies' ride here as ATP Racing Vespa make their way around. They did make the catch on Cadence. Cadence able to keep it within 20 seconds so far, but Connolly, as she finishes up her poll, showing us that they only extended their lead. West Coast, now Dutch Diesel, Cadence are all the way down in fourth. They're the current leaders here, Dave.
This is
They
crazy. This is going
Wow.
to so watch this. Okay, let do this math with me, Nathan. Okay, double check my work. Did they ever have you have a partner in math in the high school have to double check your work, right? So what I'm going to say is ATB Racing wins. Give them 20. Now, if Cadence ends up in fourth, they will end up 2 points behind, correct? ATP Racing then, and be right there in a battle. It'll be a bunch of teams looking at second place right there. But obviously for ATP, this is huge, and it benefits them to see Cadence is coming back. Well, or are they? We still have splits to look at, but Cadence with the 39.41 is now quicker than Dutch Diesel.
They were tied at the last tech point.
Right, so they're coming on strong. They might have had a hiccup there early. Who else did we see that with? Sox for Watts today had a hiccup early and came back.
But
They didn't win.
West Coast though were quite a few seconds ahead. We'll see what West Coast can pull off here. go back to them. I want to see how they're rolling. I want to see how WCC are handling this. 53 kilometers per hour on the
This is West
downhill.
Coast
LeBon,
Coalition
3.9
here.
watts per kilogram in the front for LeBon, as you can see. We'll see how they roll through and what kind of speed they can hold on to. They are catching DDC, it looks like. Bringing back time on them. Since they are catching DDC, it tells me that they have kept that gap. It's only 8 seconds at this point. Cadence 1 second ahead. Oh, it comes through now. They're 1 second difference. Cadence have brought the fire in the back end of this race here. And that could keep them
Holy
in
cow!
that
So they're
second place
saving.
here.
They're
Or even
saving their skin.
they could
Is
be
it
tied
was
for
on.
first at the end of the day if they can hold on to this. But they've got to hold on. West Coast are in the challenge right now with 4 riders.
I think it's starting to look more likely, especially with momentum. There's a big factor there. Cadence is coming back. They're rolling. They're rampaging. They won't catch ATP Racing Vespid. That seems like that ship sailed, to tell you the truth. But they are doing a great job of saving this race, and they very well could put us into a tied situation. So, Nathan, as I was asking you to check my math, everything changed since then. So Caden's doing a very good job. If it was a hockey goalie, it'd be a kick save there. But I think we've only got a few K left to get this sorted out. Laura Thompson is mega, absolutely mega. And the ride today from Thompson, I have to say, was a lot of heart. I might even give them 5K heroes for this comeback. I don't know.
Laura
I don't
Thompson,
know. But
Sarah
I mean, it's just
looks like
crazy that they've done
Sarah
this.
Ugolini, Megan Holtham, Tracy Moore, AJ
Ooh,
Breck, and
man,
D Makepeace are the ones who make up this team.
I love this heart out here. Um, and it's going to turn the final race 6 coming up next week, going to be an all-out Donnybrook. This isn't over though. I mean, they're only 1 second faster than WCC and 2 seconds, excuse me, 6 seconds quicker than Dutch Diesel. 2 very strong teams. So Cadence had better stay on it here if they want to end up tied after 5 of 6 races this season.
Tracy Moore, is that an Iron Man? I think she's an Iron Woman. She's completed.
A pro triathlete.
I don't know about pro, but she's definitely completed an Iron Man
Gotcha.
event from what I'm seeing in her profile here. Actually, she's been with us on Zwift since 2018. Long time Zwifter. The experience really paying off. It looks like here tonight as they rally the troops here to try and take this down and bring at least the second place home from Tracy Moore.
So much
Obviously.
work to get to this point of the season that you hate to lose 3 points to a team at a slightly poor team time trial. So this is really nice for them. Those might have been llamas that we just went past.
So the difference between
Did you see them?
Yeah, I saw. There's all kinds of animals out on course.
Yeah,
Not barring the herd team, but level 23 with Megan Holtham, who's also on this team. I just wanted to highlight the difference in levels and a little bit of the maybe some assumptions we can make there. But level 23 for Megan Holtham, the amount of time on Zwift that you have to get level 50, which is what Tracy Moore has, is massive. Now, Holtham though here.
The last 10 levels.
She's actually been around since prior to Tracy, but Holtham is just a racer. She just shows up in races, and that's all she does on Zwift, it looks like.
To get to level 50 by doing that is bananas.
She's level 23. That's what I'm saying, is that Tracy actually trains on Zwift, whereas Megan just shows up in races. All she has since, I'm literally not kidding you, January 12th, 2021 until April 26th, 2022 is ZRL races. That is all she has. Not kidding.
Pretty impressive. Yeah, for folks who don't Zwift, I hope you join us. But one thing for sure, the levels get, I mean, basically logarithmically harder as you get up. The first 10 levels don't even equal what level going from 41 to 42 is. It really becomes quite an
ATP
epic
just
journey.
Finishing Cadence right there.
This is going to be one of the best rides of the day here. ATP Racing Vespid done and dusted. We'll go back and pick up DDC Xena now. Now, this is a team that's in contention here to really upset the apple cart of a long season of racing. They've got 5 riders, throttle wide open. Okay, Nathan,
I'm gonna
here we
go
go. The
West
truth.
Coast. DDC. The reality of where West Coast finishes on the day is huge because if West Coast gets second, if Dutch Diesel bring it back somehow, I mean, this is going to be right on the line here between these teams. And WCC are not slowing down, but they're separated a little bit. Oh, Dave. LeBond is saying, come on, we have to go now. She got a few second gap over the top of that climb into the Estes here. But is it going to hurt them more than it's going to help them? It looks like a McHugh not trying to come on. And WCC are trying to do
Could
everything they can with 4 riders.
So on this uphill, it'll come back together quicker. It's not ideal, could be worse, but clearly the goal here going into the S is try to keep everyone together. You want to be in a submarine, all tightly packed together as you go through this tricky sector. So we've seen worse, I'll put it that way, but not quite perfect here. They'll get it back together.
I love
Pack
it
it in
that you
like a
said
submarine,
submarine
Nathan.
there. I love it. Yeah, as soon
Yep.
as you said submarine, I had the Beatles in my head. Oh my gosh.
Yellow one, I'm
Yeah,
assuming.
are we in a yellow
Right. Yeah.
submarine? Is it
Yes,
what
sir.
color is the
We all live
submarine?
there. So, all right. So, D. Mitchell Pray. I'm not going to let you take my eye off the prize because this is phenomenal. We got ourselves a Donnybrook going on out here in Watopia, Nathan Guerra. But so, okay, we're going to go back and don't worry. I'm getting friends private messaging me about what's going on with the men's race because they're curious to see do we see a new fastest time ever set in the ZRL by the amazing guys at OMG, but ATP Racing Investment is on a great day today. The
We're
question
getting
is,
messages
and
everywhere. There's so much exciting
I know
racing going
people are
on.
losing
I
their minds
literally am
right
getting
now.
messages about like the women's race. I'm getting messages about the men's race. I'm getting
I know.
messages about
That's
like the llamas race. Like what's going on? Men, women,
I love it.
animals,
Tuesdays,
everybody's race. What's going on?
Tuesdays on ZRL are and Fuego right now. Let me just finish this team. Daniela Torelli is going to be bringing them through. Great job, Dutch Diesel. DDC in the house. The Xena edition has finished. We're going to go back and pick up West Coast Coalition. This is Jana Gillick that we're with. So WCC, 4 riders. That's important because you start with 6, hopefully. At least that's the maximum you can start with. But the 4th rider, that's critical. That's where your time is taken. So Nathan, WCC, it's a 29.755 to be exact meters of racing out here, 29K, 755 meters. And so they're down to about 250 meters to go. Galloping here.
As they make their way to the line here, WCC going to finish up. We're
Oh,
going to
they're
get the
going to
times
do it.
here in just a moment. We'll see if they're able to pull this off here. 47.09 is what they're crossing with, from what we can see almost underneath the banner, and that's going to be it for them. Enzembro chasing them down, but behind now on the men's side of things, here's OMG, and they're throwing down all in at this point. There's a little bit of a gap as Boniface now opens things up at the 8.1 watts per kilogram. Says, get on my wheel. Let's hit that 57 as quickly as we can. Set them up for a sprint to the line. How many riders are left here? They let
6,
Grenier
I
go.
think.
No, they let Grenier go. There's only 5. There's only
Oh.
5. Grenier could no longer hold on. Pete's just
He
barely
made
hanging
it
on.
deep.
Whew.
He made it deep into the race, though. So if they lost him, it wasn't that long ago, was it?
63 kilometers per hour on this
Oh.
downhill, Dave. Some people struggle to
Ooh-wee.
hit 57. They are doing it all. Orange
Super.
numbers flying. Now it's a sprint to the line as they open
This
it
is the
up.
best ride.
Fraser. Whoo.
Yeah, this is the command performance of the day. No doubt 5K heroes, Nathan, have got to be, oh my God, they killed Kenny. This team gets better and better, and this one is a statement ride. They probably beat P.O. Otto's time. We'll be able to confirm that for you. We just watched history being made. Oh my God, they killed Kenny. You are now giants of Zwift.
That was insane. That was absolutely. They've got
Are
to
you
be.
not entertained, huh?
They
That's what
have
they
to
got to
be.
be
They
saying.
have to be just over their
Yep.
handlebars, dying.
Oh,
right
they
now.
are whooping and hollering and throwing up all the emotions, the spectrum, right? Because they're feeling great, but they're not feeling great right now, if you know what I
And
mean.
here we go, finishing up. It's going to be NZ Bro across the line. Team F3, the next ones to come through as we go ahead and take a look quickly here at the times. It is going to be a 40.08. Team F3 with a 40.31. Cadence 49, 39, 41. We can start getting the times as they do come in as well. Here's what happened. There it is. Cadence with a 108. They do get the better of West Coast. Dutch Diesel held off and held back and force. So West Coast with a really solid time.
Wow.
That's
They
the
did it. They
situation.
saved the day. As
Cadence did. They
impressive as
pulled it
AT
off. They pulled it
Yep,
off.
so they'll be tied now there between ATP Racing, Vespin, and Cadence. It could have easily been a disaster. So crisis averted for Cadence. So both of those teams deserve a pat on the back. West Coast Coalition, all the teams do because WCC and Dutch Diesel were extremely close and certainly made it an enjoyable race. This is going to be F3. So this will be our final finisher, I believe, in this group. The Bs, there is no A's out here in for the women in West Coast, but there is for the men. OTR Hayes, boy, they came up against a mega ride today, and actually their team did a ride that was comparable to PO Auto on their own. It's just that in another stratosphere today was OMG. But OTR will be back, and I'm sure they'll retool. They'll probably try to hire you to be a coach, Nathan. Bidding war. Bidding war. Your services are in demand, sir. So now is when you should raise your prices. That's what a good business advisor would say.
Yeah, well, I'm going to leave that
There
conversation
is no.
alone. I'm going to leave that
Just kidding.
conversation alone. I mean, well, I've had
Well, it's not bad advice.
I've had
It's
people
not
make
bad advice, but
suggestions. I've had people make suggestions, and I'm
I'm
just
sure
going to
you
leave
have.
that one alone. I'm going to leave that one
If
alone.
this was a sprint, I know that Brian Diddy would win, but it's a team time trial, so he's got to get the whole team across the line. At TFC, the Friday Criterium.
Come on now, Diddy.
I'm joking, but I'm not joking on that one.
No,
So,
you're
anyways, we're going to go
100% right there. 100% right. If it
right.
was a
So,
sprint, Diddy would most likely take it down. But it's not a sprint, and it does show a chink in the armor for TFC, I believe.
so the Giro d'Italia is starting this week. It's too bad they don't have a team time trial. Looked like Bill. Thank you, Bill. For reference in the Atlantic this morning, next with Box Hill in real life KOM holder Perrin Duffy Jr. And I'm looking at this, so wow, it's impressive, I must say.
What
We've
kind of
really found
time?
that comparing in real life climbs or any segments to what is on Zwift is unbelievably accurate. So that really says something there.
Yeah, Pure Auto did a 38:17. So OMG, they averaged a solid 37:49. It looks like.
What have we got
So
here? This is
a
it looks like
4.77 watts per kilogram. What kind of okay?
two teams mixed together, I think, have happened. Well, not anymore. Getting some separation now. So that was a pass being made out there.
Yeah, OTR
Again,
caught them,
final.
I believe. I think Rule 5 caught them. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I think TFC got passed, right, by Rule 5. They're storming now.
I want to just point something out here. 4.77.
It's a lot
Pure
of watts.
Auto Ceramic did 4.83. Toyota Cryogen did 4.9.
So that's precision. I'm not even kidding. And that coaching, that's how you get more efficient, working on your craft, and that's super cool for OMG. This is a big day for West Coast. This division, with the women's race being so competitive and ATP flying. How about, oh my God, they killed Kenny and OTR, the Hayes edition. Well, and all of these teams. Don't sleep on West Coast. Some of our best racers are out here.
33:21 on the Rivet Rule 5 came on through. We'll see how this ends up playing out at the end. But this is going to be the end of the Division 1As for the men here. Women are finishing up. There will be a couple of C's still out on course. We could highlight them just until the finish of the men's race. As it looks like a little bit of mix up here as TFC brought the heat into the final. They're just sprinting for the line, though. It's not really any impact on the race in any way whatsoever. There's still going to be ATP Arsenic making their way around, it looks like. And I think they're going to be the last on the day. Blaze is here as well. OTR Blaze is here. now also making their way around. And that will be the final team to come across the line. On the women's side of things, I do believe that we do have some, a few of the C's still finishing up, but I don't think we're going to be able to
All
find
right.
them out there.
Well, we've got tomorrow to look forward to. It's knockouts coming up on
Knockouts!
the main Zwift channel. So we can say a great day of racing here for race 5, week 5 of ZRL Community. As we wrap up traveling around the globe here, things started in APAC, and this will do it out here. A couple K to go. I know we can always send folks to WTRL.racing to look at results from all around the divisions and levels of racing from the A's, B's to the C's and the D's. It was awesome out here today. But we will be back bright and early tomorrow morning at our post, getting ready for the semifinals. 4 teams on the men's and 4 teams on the women's side remain out there. Certainly, congratulations to Oh My God, They Killed Kenny for a blistering ride here, as they were the best on the planet today out here in Watopia's figure 8 reverse.
Quick little
So,
image of the ATP Arsenic coming across the line. OTR Blaze now making their way
all
across.
right.
Just want to highlight the splits real quickly for the C category for the women. They do have, I do see the Fearlets still out there making their way around. Want to shout them out quickly as they're just about to finish up the back end of their race. Quick little shout out to Fearlets, the Herd of Mischievous Meerkats, as well as West Coast Coalition. Coalition Synthesis and Herd of Misfit Meerkats right now. West Coast Coalition C2 are out there, and Betty Squad, I think, no show out there today. But those are the current splits and where they stand. Looks like Herd of Misfit Meerkats are going to walk away with this one. It's pretty good distances between each one of the teams actually in the C category out there.
Yeah, Misfit Meerkats had a raging ride out there, it looks like. Over a minute, 10 seconds quicker than second today. That's huge. Leaving no doubt about it.
Who's on the front? Oh, sorry about that. Towle is still out here as well.
All right.
26. It looks like. Let's see if we can jump across the OTR though. So still 2 teams out here today for the A's. Sinton out of the US of A leading them out with Blaze 4.7, 180 beats per minute. So quite the effort here coming. Thompson, M. Thompson. Wonder if there's a relation. Maybe within the same household.
How much do they weigh? That's what you call in comedy a callback.
I don't know if
That's
we
a
want to do that
callback
one.
in the world of comedy.
It is a callback.
Right.
I don't know if we want to do
You
that
had to
one.
be watching in the first 10 minutes to get that joke, to be honest. It doesn't make sense if you didn't watch, right?
Oh, it's good stuff. As they cross the finish line.
Or you could also say, are they both Canadian? Because Laura Thompson is Canadian, correct? So is this Thompson
good call.
Canadian?
Oh, you're right. Nope. You are.
Although we do allow
100%
American
right.
Canadian marriage, or what, it's possible. So I have heard of such a thing.
Let's go ahead and check out some results here as the boys just came across the line. And as they did, let's see what the final results for the men have to say. Actually, let's jump across to the women first. Apologies on that, but just want to, they were the first ones to finish it up. So let's go ahead and see how things play out. ATP Racing Vespid at the top there, 46.27. Cadence, as we saw earlier, 108 back. It was a close race between West Coast Dutch Diesel
saved the
Cycling
day.
Xena. Yeah, and there was a lot of swaps between these 2, 3, and 4, Dave.
Oh, sure were.
Tons of swaps.
Yeah.
NZ Bro Wahini Toa followed up by Team F3 FBW. That's the situation. There between them. In the C category, these are who have gotten across the line. Dave, it's Herd of Misfits at the top. The Fearless just coming across the line.
Oh, all right. Great. Thanks, Nathan. Heard of Misfit Meerkats. Nice job. As they touch on 3 watts per kilo there for the power, and it is good for gold. Coalition Synthesis, the silver standard in our America's West Division C. It's West Coast Coalition third. Herd of Mischievous Meerkats in fourth. The Fearlets in fifth, and West Coast Coalition C2. Those are your 6 teams that lined up and rocked up out here today in America's West for the women. So, okay. That D's actually, or maybe there are
Those are
not
the C's.
D's
Those are the
out here,
C's. Yeah,
just
those are the
B's and
C's.
C's, and
Just the
this will
B's and C's.
be the
That's
fastest
it
in the
right there.
world.
Fastest in the world that we know
History.
of today, I think. Oh my God, they killed Kenny 37:49. On the Rivet Hayes there with the 48:88. It's on the Rivet Rule 5 in with the 239 back. ATP Racing Arsenic there, 308 back at a 4.26 watts per quarter in fourth. TFC Scorpion 341 back, and on the Rivet Blaze for your top 6. I saw Anna say that she had some tactics from Aaron Bleakley from Riot and how they were able to dominate. You know, I really think that people are starting to pick up on the reality of tactics and how incredibly important they are in the team time trial. But here we
So
go on the Rivet on the
that's
top.
actually, I think the word is more technique than tactic.
Yeah, good call. Good
If,
call. Technique.
right.
It is technique.
And you are the king of technique, dude. Um, no question. I mean, I seriously, what we saw from Oh My God, They Killed Kenny, that was impressive, and they're not afraid to reach out and look for help. And to do that, I'll get to the results here, but you have to be willing to hear some, criticism too to get better. So it's not
I'm
all pats on
absolutely
the back all the
positive
time.
that Aaron Bleakley is watching every bit of criticism that I'm giving to Oh My God, They Killed Kenny. Like, he literally messages me afterwards and says, "Oh, I learned a lot." So
That's great. I love that. I think we're better people when we can be that way. So Aaron Bleakley, keep on keeping on out there. Let me jump onto this one, Nathan. Sorry about that. So going to the top of the table, it was on the Rivet. TWSS was there. Whew. See how efficient they were? 42.15, the winning time. Good for gold. TFC Pickle Juice ending up in second. Dirty Rascals. Ping bong. Kate loves that one. Look forward to seeing you soon, Kate. In third, KRTB, Big Timbers in fourth, Dirty Rascals, Believers fifth, Red Peloton B sixth, Cryogen, Mount Diablo, one of my favorite climbs, actually my favorite climb in California, seventh place, Dirty Rascals Grit in eighth, TFC Ronin in ninth, GSC Killer Bees 10th, and how about Dr. Wilbar, 11th today for a really competitive America's West Division 1 Bs. Back to you, Nathan, for the Cs.
And in the C category, they're just finishing up. It's OTR Force and ATP Racing Ethel. Dirty Rascals Affogato coming on through. Wow, this is insanely close racing. Like, what is even going on here? All of the Zwifts
Wow.
are,
Everybody
well,
within 12 seconds?
yeah,
Kidding?
and I mean, I don't have the Zwifts are all closed now at this point, but man, this is about as close as it gets. It looks like for these top 3. Very cool to see. I can real quickly just to highlight this. I will bring in what's happening here, and that is why I think it's probably dropping off a little
Oh,
bit, 4th through 10th
basically
place.
tied.
Yeah,
Top 3 are tied for all, because 1 point isn't enough. If you know, because the tiebreaker is who had the best last result, basically. So if you're tied, yeah. Anyways, that's incredible. Great job.
yeah. I mean, look at the. So how did it end up? OTR Force end up taking it down.
And
Ethel
they
takes
moved up
second. Yeah, and
because
they move
they would
up.
have, right? They would have taken 2 points back there. So racing Ethel second and Affogato on the day finishing third. So it just shows you how incredibly competitive. That's anybody's bike race when you talk about those top 3 teams there. That'll be fun next week. So that's West Seas mixed men.
And there we go.
Goodbye, Watopia. We'll see you soon.
Well,
I'm
tomorrow,
sure.
where are we tomorrow? What course are we
We're
on?
in Neokyo, I
Yeah,
think.
I'm not going to see Watopia tomorrow. I think we're
Aren't
hanging out in
we?
Ryokyo. Yeah, we're in the
We are
arcade. We're
in.
hanging out near the arcade. Yep.
Yeah, on like
Yeah.
Donkey Kong.
Yeah, and that's an interesting one tomorrow, you guys, with the knockouts, because a lot of people don't know that there's areas on that course where there is no draft, and people just don't know it. Like, you can drop people, and the people who know,
Show
they're
us the
gonna
secret
be.
menu. Show us the secret menu.
You gotta. That just comes with grinding. That comes with grinding. Go figure it out, people. Go figure it
Yeah,
out.
do work. Do
Do
work,
work.
people, right? Alright.
Okay. Thanks a lot, everybody, for
Long
tuning
day.
in.
Thanks, Nathan.
Yeah, it's been a long day. Appreciate everybody. Make sure to head on to WTRL for the results. And as always, hit those follow buttons, turn on your notifications, and send us some messages over on the social medias. We always appreciate them. We'll see you tomorrow
S
for the knockouts. Dave, what's up?
I was gonna say see you tomorrow morning, bright and
Yep.
early. Can't wait.
Knockouts. Here we go. Take care, everybody. Bye
Alright.
now.